Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. I hope you enjoy my painting videos. So today we'll be doing a different type of painting because as some of you already know, I've been doing a lot of landscape paintings recently. So I decided to paint something different today. It's a seascape, but it's an aerial view of a seashore. So yeah, I will sketch first the subject and I'm gonna do the detailing later. I'll be sketching it so that you know where things are gonna go, and I'll be telling you now the colors that we'll be using for today's painting tutorial. So here are the colors that we'll be using. We have mid yellow or lemon yellow, we have black, burnt sienna, white, sap green, and primary blue or phthalo blue. You can use that. As you can see here, I have a new color. It's called emerald green. So this is just like a mint green, as you can see. So just get a minty colored green. You don't want to use any highlight green. You know that highlight like color of the green shade. You don't want that because that's not the color of nature. So just get your mint green. An alternative for this will be just mix your, okay, let me show you. Just mix your sap green, your yellow, and then white, and then blue. So look at that. Look how similar now the color is. You may simply add white if you want to really achieve this creamy look. Again, blue. So it's really similar now, these two colors. So just mix those colors as I mentioned, and then you'll get the same color without having to buy the exact color. All right, so yeah, let's begin sketching now. Since I already have here the mixture of the emerald green color that I use when I mix the colors, I'm just gonna use this to start the sketch. So I'll be starting first with the water. So again, this is an aerial view of a seashore. So this will be the water area. All right, so I'm just applying the remaining paints on my paintbrush. This is not the exact color that we'll be doing today. It's just that I'm trying to show you where things are gonna go. All right, like this. And now I want you to get your burnt sienna, and then add yellow, add white, add tiny bit of black. Okay, my black is quite dry. And I'm gonna use this to create the land part. Again, we're trying to be quick in our sketch because we're just identifying where things are gonna go. Okay. Again, just mix your burnt sienna, lemon yellow, and black, and then white. Okay, maybe add more black, and then just go and apply it right here. This will be the sandy part. Again, this will be the water part, but there will be some water foams that we will be making. For now, let's just do the underpainting. Okay. That color. Okay, maybe up to here. Okay. Because this will be covered with foliage and rocks later, the right side of the painting. Okay, like that. All right, so now okay, just make sure that there are as much as possible, make sure that the canvas is well covered. Okay, like that. Now I'm gonna underpaint the right side of the painting, which will be covered with foliage and rocks. So I'm gonna get my black. Get your black, burnt sienna. Make sure that black is the more dominant color in the underpainting, and just paint away this side of the painting. Again, this will be covered or this will be filled with lots of foliage later. For now, let's just make some shadows and depths by using our dark brown. Okay, I'm gonna shape now where some rocks are gonna go. So there will be rocks that are overlapping the water portion of this painting. So there will be rocks here. There will be rocks right there. Small rocks and big rocks. Don't forget, guys, that this will be an aerial view or the bird's eye view of a seashore, which I'm so excited about because it's been a while since the last time I did some seascape painting. Okay. And we'll be doing some smaller rocks later. For now, let's be okay with this first, the big ones. All right. Okay, just continue underpainting this side of the canvas. Okay, up to here. Also, get your palette knife ready and your fan brush, because we'll be using those to create foliage and foams. All right. Okay, guys. Now I'm gonna this area will be filled with some leaves. All right. So, okay, before we do that, before we do some leaves, let's continue covering it with the sand color, which is just a combination again of the brown, lemon yellow, white, and tiny bit of black. Just cover it again. This is not the color of the sand that we're trying to achieve. We're just trying to underpaint it with this color. It's much it seems like this is yellow ochre to me more than anything else, the mixture. But I don't like to use yellow ochre because it's too yellow for me. This is the underpainting, so it should really be dark. I mean darker than the actual color of the sand. So now that we've underpainted the canvas, you already have an idea where things are gonna go. Let's proceed to detailing it, okay? So let's go back to where we started, and that is the waters. So for the water, I'm just gonna go and get my primary blue, mix that with emerald green, the mixture that we have here, add a little bit of yellow and brown. So it's like this color. Again, more blue. Okay. And brown. Just to tone the color down and darken it as well. And I'm gonna use this to create some depth in the water. Okay, I'm gonna darken that area. Gonna use black. Okay, now I'm gonna use black. Mix that with that emerald green that we have here. Again, a lot of black will be used. And we're going to darken this area. When you see this color, it suggests the shallowness, right? The water is quite shallow, that you can see through it the rocks underneath. So it's just a suggestion of what's underneath. Like this. Okay, wash your brush out. Now I want you to get your emerald green mixture that we already had. I'm gonna add yellow. So I'm gonna add yellow, and then, yeah, this color, maybe more yellow. And then I'm gonna go around the water area. Right here. It's like we're making a gradient effect on the waters. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown burnt sienna, or maybe the color of the sand that we have here, and I'm gonna add that emerald green color. I'm just gonna mix them like this, and I'm gonna go and apply that color right here. It's okay if for now you're overlapping the rocks that we just did. It's okay because we'll be painting over it anyway. We haven't done the details yet, so it's alright. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit of that color right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my titanium white. Okay. And now we will be outlining the foams. Okay. Again, this is just preliminary. We'll be changing a lot of this later. We'll be adding more details. For now, let's just start somewhere. I'm slightly gliding my paintbrush on the canvas to create that soft foam in the waters. Remember that this is an aerial view. So I'm gonna add white on the water, suggestive of the foams that we see in the seas. Okay, I might extend it a bit. like that. All right, this is not the details that I really want. We'll be adding more later. For now, let's just allow it to dry. Okay, let's go back to the rocks. I'm gonna get my black and I'm just gonna fully cover it with this underpainting. Okay. Like that. This. Okay, now before we go back to the waters, let's go to the sandy part. So for that, I'll be using my white, my burnt sienna, my yellow, and again more white. So it's like this skin color, like this milky browny color. I'm gonna add yellow like this. Maybe a little bit of brown. Okay, let's try this color. As you can see here, I'll be going a little diagonal in my application to follow the patterns of the sand and the waters as well. By doing this, we're highlighting some areas on the shore part. That. Oops. Okay. I'll be adding a little bit of sand. Here and there. Okay, now I'll be getting my burnt sienna plus black. All right, and I'll be using this color to color outside the foams. Like that. Okay, and even right here, we're going to darken this area because of the shadows the shadows of the rocks. So we kind of want to darken it. Like that. Okay. Again, just blend the two colors, the light one and the dark one. Okay, this part of the canvas is quite scraping, so okay, I'm just gonna cover that. Okay, like that. All right. Okay. Now I'm gonna detail this area, the right side, before we go back to the waters. You know how much I love painting the waters. It's just amazing. It feels amazing to be painting waters. So for this area, we'll be doing a lot of foliage, and I'll be using a round stiff brush. You know, I've been using this in creating foliage. It's just a round stiff brush. It's shaped like an hourglass. As you can see here, it's quite chubby. So I'll be using this. It's so round and stiff. So it's really good for making foliage, especially when you want to do it quickly. So I'll be using this. If you don't have this, you can simply use your own flat brush. Just use the tip of the brush. It will only take you a lot of, more time than I do. So for time purposes, I'll be using this brush to create more foliage faster than I would have done if I'm just using an ordinary brush. So for that, I'll be getting my Sap Green. I'll be adding a little bit of yellow and brown to tone down the greenness of the color. I'll be adding a little bit of yellow again, and I'll be using this color to create some foliage. Can I move that? Some people use a bundle of cotton buds. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm getting my brown. Get your burnt sienna, mix it with the green color and yellow. So it's more brown this time, and I'll be using that to add some natural colors on the foliage. All right, like this. Okay, now I'm getting my black. Get your black, and in the same manner, just tap. Like that. Now I'm gonna get my yellow, just pure yellow, and without washing your brush, just go ahead and create some highlights. They should be randomly applied on this forest part of the painting, so that it's more natural, because when you apply them everywhere and anywhere, it kind of looks a little abnormal. Okay, now I'm gonna use my Sap Green again, and I'm gonna add more greeny colors here and there, just to make this thicker or look thicker. Okay, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna, mix it with yellow, and again, just create more highlights and other colors of the foliage that are quite browny. Okay, a little bit of that greeny colors. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go back to using my ordinary brush, and I'll be adding more depth. So get your black. I'm gonna add more depth, and of course more rocks. Okay. These rocks will be highlighted later. For now, let's just create their shapes, including the underpainting color, which is simply black. You can add as many rocks as you want. It depends on your preference. So this is the rocky part of the painting. All right. Can add more, and I'm gonna add even more. A rock that is being hit by the water. All right. Again, this is just the underpainting of the rocks. We'll be doing some highlights later. Okay, now let's go and create some details on the rocks. So I'll be getting my brown. Get your brown. I'm not washing my brush, as you can see here. I'm getting my white, my yellow, again more brown, and black, just to tone the color. And I'll be using this color to create some details on the rocks. So just enjoy this process. It will somehow test your patience as well, because we're going into detailing. Although quite random, the detailing is quite random, because you know how a rock looks like. It looks like rough, uneven. So while it may be true that we're not really stressing so much about straight lines and all that, we also have to consider the natural patterns that we see on rocks. So I'm just getting some lighter version of that color. I'm just adding white. Okay, let's go back and just keep on detailing. I'll be adding a little bit of yellow. I might use my palette knife for this later. For now, let's just use our ordinary brush. Okay, and in the same manner, I'm just gonna highlight the small rocks. Again, just make sure that they look irregular. They should not really have a pattern. Okay, starting to get there. Okay, I'm gonna get my white, and without washing my brush, I'm just gonna apply some white colors here and there. Okay, I'm gonna get my black, and I'll be adding some more tiny rocks right here. A lot of rocks. Like that, and I'm gonna allow that first to dry. We'll go back to that later for more detailing. For now, let's move on to doing the waters. Let's go back to the waters where we started. So I'll be getting again my emerald green. Okay, again, you know already how to create your emerald green. I'm just gonna apply that on the whole water area, but using a lot of waters. Like this. Okay, and I'm gonna go here as well. And also here. Oops, my canvas is really anyway, I'm gonna fix that. Okay, let's fix that. I scraped up because this is an old painting of mine, so I painted over this, and yep, so this is what I get. Maybe the paint is not yet dry and I scraped it. Okay, all right, before I go back to that area, I'm gonna get my black and mix that again with emerald green. Okay, add brown and primary blue and black, more black, like that, and also here. Also here, to really give it some depth. Going to add some shadows, suggestion of shadows and water movements. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get my yellow. Using this yellow, I'm just gonna apply it quite watery on this portion of the water. Not really smearing over anything. I just want some hints of yellow. This will create light play as well, and shallowness. It will suggest shallowness of the waters. Okay, now I'm gonna get my dark brown. So get your burnt sienna and black. And let's just go and darken some spaces in between those rocks, because these are not really being hit by the light. So just make sure that they're quite darker than any other places in the painting. That. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get my white again and burnt sienna and yellow, but more white. Okay, before we go back to the waters and to the foliage, let's create some foliage that are framing the painting. There will be foliage right here so that it frames the painting. So I'm gonna get my sap green, okay, and yellow. I'm just using my fan brush. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna to tone the color. Brown, again, burnt sienna, and sap green. Let's go back to this area. I'm gonna create some foliage that will be suggestive of forest on the lowest, or the what do you call this side? The left side. The left side of the paint of the oh my god, the lower left side. Okay, I just couldn't describe the location. Forgive me. Again, we'll be doing some highlights later. So this will just frame the painting. So that our attention is more focused on the water. Okay, I'm gonna get more yellow. So there is an existing forest on the lower side of the painting. It's like a continuous image of nature, but only a suggestion of it. You don't have to see what's on the other side. You just have to suggest what the audience might find it. Therefore, they can imagine what they can see there in real life, okay? Okay, I'm gonna use some light green here and there, quite randomly, and I'll be using burnt sienna as well to give it more natural look. We don't want it to be just green. We want some browny color in the nature because that's what Earth looks like. It's not just blue and green. There is some suggestion of brown and even dark colors. I'm gonna get my white. I'm gonna apply that on this area. All right. Okay, let's go back to the waters because that's my most favorite part. So in doing more water movements, I'm gonna get my emerald green again. I'm gonna mix my emerald green with primary blue. So it's like this color. And I'm gonna make some suggestions of water movements. So I'm using a lot of water here. All right, like that. Okay, and then let's color this area because it got left behind. I forgot to color that. Okay, like that. And I'll be using a smaller brush, a more pointy brush. I'm gonna dab onto my white and my emerald green. Remember that during the intro of this video, I already taught you guys how to get that emerald green color. So if you want to know that, you can simply go back to the intro. Just rewind and you'll see how I did the color. Okay, I'll be getting some dark browns. And I'm gonna apply that near this rock because there should be some shadows near the rock, because without the shadows it doesn't seem like it's real, dimensional. All right, like that. Now let's go back to the rocks because I have to detail the rocks because I love rocks. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna, my titanium white, and I can go and mix it with tiny bit of black just to tone the the color down. So I'm gonna use the back of my palette knife and I'm gonna just apply it quite like I'm only using the tip of the brush to create the pattern that I like, but if I want to create texture, I'm just gonna use the whole back of the knife. I'm gonna get my black. In the same manner, I'm just gonna go ahead and create some patterns on the rocks. Okay, like that. Over here, this one. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna use my black, and using my ordinary brush, I'm just gonna outline that area on the rocks. Okay, just outline it, creating shadow. Also here and also here. Applying some shadows on the water line. Also here. Okay, now let's highlight even more because I still don't like the water movement. Let's highlight even more the foliage, but before we do that, let's go back to the waters because I love doing the waters, so I'll be focusing more on the waters. So again, I'm gonna get my emerald green and white. I'm gonna use that to glaze over the water like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get my primary blue and mix that with the emerald green. Again, blue. It's like creating an abstract that absolutely makes sense in one look. Let me check. Okay, wow. I love it, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get my white and I'm gonna apply that color on the sandy part this way. Like, look at how I applied it. I'm just adding some light play. I did not go heavy on the color application. I just used that color to highlight certain areas on the sand. Actually, this part is quite heavy, but again, we can always fix that. Okay, I'm gonna use the remaining white to apply it on the water area. Okay, like that. Let me check. Okay. This is good. I'm gonna get my black and I'm just gonna slightly glaze some black color on the rocks. I'm gonna highlight I'm gonna get my brown and I'm gonna water that down, okay? And I'm gonna add a little bit of brownie color on the water, a little bit, okay? You don't want to use that much. You just want to be suggestive of the sand being washed away by the waters. Right, like that. And I'm gonna get again my what they call this color, emerald green, and then black. Just use this color to go right here to add some shadows. Also here. also here. All right. Some watered down blue. Again, just make sure that the water looks more flowy. Right. Oh my God, I love it even more. Oh my gosh. Now let's go to the foliage. Let's go back to the foliage before we forget. So I'm gonna get again my round stiff brush to create more foliage. Gonna get my sap green and white. And I'm gonna use this to highlight even more some of the foliage. Only some. I'm not really highlighting everything here. Just a little bit of this color to the random parts of the painting. Okay, I think I need more yellow, or I'm just gonna use my yellow ochre, guys, because I feel like I've been using mid yellow a lot. So let's go and proceed with a more muted yellow, and that is the yellow ochre. And I'm going to use that to highlight. So it's a different kind of highlight because it's quite browny, because it's yellow ochre instead of mid yellow. Okay. Like that. Okay, I'm going to get my black again. Just to give it more depth. All right, now let's go back to the foreground. I'm gonna get my fan brush. I'm gonna get my yellow ochre plus green. And just apply that color on the foliage that we did here. Again, to frame the painting. Gonna get my black. To add more dimension. Okay, and I'm gonna use this as well to add more depth on this area, more forest side of the painting. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna make, okay, I'm gonna use my palette knife. All right, this palette knife, make sure it's not wet or make sure it's clean. I'm gonna dab onto my emerald green and water. Okay. Gonna add a little bit of brown. I'm gonna play with it. So with water and emerald green and brown. Slightly. Oops. Allow that color to create movement in the waters. Like that. Now I'm gonna mix my emerald green with yellow ochre. Like that. Some hints of blues. Right here. Oops. I'm gonna get my white. I am obsessed. Let me check. Oh my god, guys. I'm applying a little bit of yellow ochre. Some greens are mixing. Like that. All right. A little bit above yellow ochre. Then white. All right, that's just an obsession of mine when it comes to highlights. All right, I think we're done, guys. I think we're done. So I'm gonna sign this. I think I'll be signing it. Where do you think should I sign? I'm gonna sign right here, right on the right side corner. So for that, I'll be using my white since I do have a lot of white here. Just gonna sign my name. And we're done. We're done, guys. Yahoo! Oh my gosh, so pretty. So we're done, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is something new, right? So I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope you do this one as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you like this video, and let me know from your social media posts. If you're painting along with me, please tag me. I have all my social media accounts linked in the description box below as well. So see you in my next video. Love you.